Okay, we're down in beautiful sunny Hampshire with Southampton icon, Premier League legend, Matt Le Tissier. Matt, pleasure to talk to you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much, mate. Yeah, all good.
Good stuff. Keeping busy since retiring from football a few years ago now.
It's been an interesting few years. Yeah. Did a lot of media work over the last kind of 21 years since I've been retired now. So yeah, managed to fill my time all right.
Good stuff. Obviously, the Premier League is 11 games in now. It's looking like another dramatic season. At the weekend, we saw VAR once again embroiled in controversy in the Arsenal-Newcastle match. Mikel Arteta's had a rant afterwards. Do we think VAR has actually got worse this season? Are the decisions getting even less reliable?
That's a good question. I think it seems that way. The errors are kind of amplified a lot in the media, obviously. I think when it came in, people were expecting not to have these kind of debates. I remember one of the arguments that was being put when it was just been mooted, but that people were saying, but we'll have nothing to argue about in the pub afterwards.
Well, that's not been the case at all.
Well, that has not turned out to be the case whatsoever. So I've been a little bit disappointed in the standard of the decisions that have been made, if I'm honest. And I said, even before VAR came in and we had debates on Soccer Saturday about it, that for me, I felt like it needed an ex-professional footballer in the room with the referees at the same time to advise, not to make the decisions, but to give some advice on that. And I still believe, after watching it for a few years now, I still believe it's a really good idea to do that. The referees don't want to do that because I feel like there is an arrogance amongst referees that they are the be-all and end-all. They know everything, and that players can't add anything to it. And I think that's a terrible attitude to take into it, personally.
In terms of the specific decisions this weekend, we saw Bruno Guimaraes kind of forearm smash Jorginho on the back of the head. VAR didn't seem to warrant that as being punishable, which is surprising. Then for the goal, there was a push in the back of Gabriel, but is that Arsenal fans just kind of getting a bit too whingy? Some of those decisions did seem kind of like they should have been looked at, though, I think.
I mean, there was some stuff there that I think, had the decisions gone the other way, too many people probably wouldn't have been complaining that much about it. And I think that's the key when you're looking at something like that. You say to yourself, well, if they had have given that, what would have been would the uproar been as bad as not giving it? And sometimes that is a better way to judge if they've given the right decision or not.
Do you think the fact that the crowd was so kind of involved and up for it after Kai Havertz's tackle, do you think that plays a part in the mindset of a referee?
I mean, it shouldn't do, especially if it goes to VAR, because obviously those boys back there are far removed from that atmosphere in the stadium, which is the whole idea of them being away from it. So that the whole crowd thing shouldn't really come into it when the guys are making the decision in the VAR, and they've just got to be, as honest as they possibly can. And I think that's the thing, the clarity of the whole situation. I think it would be much better if we were to hear the communications between the referee and the VAR. I think that would allay a lot of problems within the crowd who are just sat there frustrated because they don't know what's going on, they don't know what they're checking for. And I think if it was to be seen on the big screen as they go through the process, then everybody can see, and there is, accountability there. Transparency, accountability.
Agreed.
Two really important things. And at the moment, we're not quite getting that.
Speaking about transparency and accountability, is there a potentially conflict of interest? We've seen freelance referees going out to other leagues, the Saudi Pro League, Qatar, and then coming back, and the owners of those leagues have vested interest in specific teams. Is there a danger of the playing field being...
I've always actually said right from the start that there would be a conflict of interest. When you've got the same group of referees who are controlling the VAR and the same group that are refereeing, you're going to have a bloke in the VAR room who is mates with the bloke who's on the pitch. Now that is a conflict of interest, because there are times when this guy is going to have to make this guy look a bit uncomfortable because he's made a wrong decision. Now if that's your mate, you ain't really going to want to do that.
No.
So for me, I think there should be a separate group of referees that just concentrates on the VAR and a separate group of referees that just concentrates on refereeing on the field. And then you take away a small it's never going to be perfect, but there are ways that you can take away the little conflicts of interest and being more transparent and being more accountable.
And if you were in charge, would you be allowing referees to go and referee in other countries or other leagues, or do you think that's...
I wouldn't do.
No.
I wouldn't do personally. I mean, they pay them well enough that they shouldn't have to go and freelance into other countries. That's their job, and those contracts that they sign, for me, they should be just to referee in the Premier League.